Ecologists and conservationists have claimed EU-subsidized foreign supertrawlers are committing marine ecocide in the English Channel. The news comes as Boris Johnson warns Brits a no-deal Brexit is very likely. Blue Seas Protection said up to 9 of the world's largest fishing trawlers were operating in protected conservation areas southeast of the Isle of Wight. The vessels had mostly come from the Netherlands, an EU member state, and were fishing in the UK's Marine Conservation Zones (MCZs). The UK government said the trawlers were operating legally under current legislation. Captain Gary Oates, from the charity, lashed out at the practice and called it an act of last-minute defiance and destruction. He said the trawlers were causing havoc for British fish stocks, and warned they posed a threat to other marine lifeforms. Speaking to the BBC, he said, "We absolutely believe it's a clear message and an act of last-minute defiance and destruction of our fish stock. This is marine ecocide." Captain Oates then said the Netherlands vessels operating in the MCZs was an utter travesty. He also said the foreign trawlers' operations were making the UK a laughing stock. The charity founder added the trawlers arrived 3 weeks ago, and their operation was totally unsustainable and wholly immoral. Blue Seas Protection has previously called on the UK government to ban the ships, as well as the United Nations to bar them from operating across the world. The Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs (DEFRA) had said they found no infringements from the trawlers, and said they had been monitoring them since they arrived. A DEFRA spokesman said to the BBC MCZs were not meant to safeguard highly mobile fish stocks, and said the trawlers did not impact the seabed, which would violate the MCZs. The spokesman added, "When the transition period ends, we will be able to restrict the fishing activities of foreign vessels, including supertrawlers, throughout our waters." Mr. Johnson also announced in November the UK brought in a new marine protection zone for the overseas territory of Tristan da Cunha. Supertrawlers are industrial vessels more than 100 meters long with nets measuring up to a mile, which catch hundreds of tons of fish a day. Captain Oates' comments comes just days after Will McCallum, Greenpeace's head of oceans, raged against the Dutch vessels near the Isle of Wight. He said to The Independent, "What the government calls protected areas are protected in name only.